Sports Radio 95.7.
Well, the A's would get the lead in the ballgame. It came early, and Coco Crisp, looking for a milestone, was leading off. The 1-1 pitch is swung on line to left, base hit, and hit number 1,000 lifetime for Coco Crisp. He almost got it in the 8th inning last night when Lillibridge robbed him of a 2-run home run. But here today, a leadoff shot to left, a clean single, and hit number 1,000 for Coco Crisp. He was still second. He went to third on a base hit to right by Pennington. And after Sweeney struck out, the A's still had runners at first and third, and Matsui was hitting. And Umber at the belt checks the runners, and now the 3-1 pitch is swung on and driven to right field. Quinton is going back on it, nearing the track. At the base of the track, he's got room, and he makes the catch. Coco tags to score. Pennington holds at first as the A's take a 1-0 lead. And again, Matsui comes through with an RBI opportunity. His 25th RBI, stayed 1-0 A's until Adam Dunn was batting for the White Sox with 2 on and 2 out in the bottom of the 4th.
1-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball drilled to deep right by Dunn. He got all of this one, and he hits it back into the seats. Adam Dunn, his 7th home run, a backbreaker with 2 strikes and 2 outs and 2 men on. And just like that, with one mighty swat, the White Sox have a 3-1 lead.
So the White Sox leading 3-1. The A's would try to chip away against the Chicago starter Philip Umber, as after giving up that run in the first inning, he retired the side in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And then Coco was leading off in the 6th. Coco's 1 for 2. Switch hitter batting left. He has one of the A's 2 hits, and Umber to the plate. Coco swings and bounces it fair down the right field line. And Coco turning at first. He's going to second with a double, and Ozzie is in disbelief. I think Coco thought the ball was foul. Adam Dunn didn't really react to it. And then Coco, realizing that Brian Onora, the first base umpire, had called that ball a fair ball, he started racing down the line. And Crisp has a leadoff double for the A's here in the 6th inning. After that, he went to third when Pennington flied to right. Coco was able to score with the infield back when Sweeney bounced to second. The A's were down 3-2, but they would tie it up in the 7th inning, courtesy of Scott Sizemore.
1-2 pitch, curveball hit hard down the left field line, could tie the ball game toward the bullpen, and gone. Scott Sizemore lifts the A's once again. He goes over the bullpen into the stands and ties the game at 3 on his first home run of 2011.
So with the A's and the Sox tied up, Guillermo Moscoso, with the pitch count reaching over 100, was working in the 7th inning. He actually walked Mark Tien leading off. Then he got Juan Pierre on a pop-up. But then after he walked Alexi Ramirez, the call went to the bullpen. Grant Balfour was pitching for the A's, and Carlos Quinton at this point was batting for Chicago.
2 on, and the pitch is chopped to third, coming in for it. Sizemore gloves, goes to second for 1 and throws it away. Throws it away from Weeks, and a run will score as Tien crosses home plate. It's 4-3 Chicago. Try to get the double play by charging in on the ball and throwing across his body. It tailed away from Weeks, and everybody is safe, and the A's are down by a run.
And then Paul Konerko standing in next. Konerko with 51 RBIs on the year.
So now Konerko stands in. He swings and wraps one into left. Top spin liner drops in front of Sweeney to score another run. Across the plate is Ramirez. It is 5-3 Chicago. Konerko knows how to drive in runs. That's his 52nd of the year. Moves Quinton up to second base, and in the span of a handful of pitches, a 3-3 game suddenly becomes a 2-run deficit.
And it would stay a 2-run deficit for the A's until the 9th inning began with the now shaky closer for the White Sox, Sergio Santos, on the mound. And eventually, with 2 out, the A's still breathing. They had 2 runners on base, down by 2. Jamile Weeks batting left against Santos. And here's the 1-2 with 2 out. It's on the way, and it's swung on in line, up the middle, back a second, base hit center field. Jackson scores from third. Stopping at second is Sizemore. The A's are alive. It's 5-4 Chicago. A shot up the middle by Jemiah Weeks and a great try at short by Ramirez, diving to his left. Back of the bag at second, couldn't flag it down. The A's are alive. They're breathing. It's 5-4, and Crisp is coming up. Jackson scored from third, and Sizemore went from first to second. And things got very interesting at the end of this battle between Crisp and Sergio Santos. Right-hander Bruni, left-hander Sale in the bullpen for Chicago. Sizemore's at second, Weeks at first. It's 5-4 Chicago in the ninth. And with 2 out, the 2-1 pitch to Crisp. The set, Santos throws. It's swung on and chopped to third, back of the bag. Morel has got it. Long throw across, and he barely gets him at first. And Coco can't believe it, and the ball game is over. The A's are beside themselves. Here comes Bob Melvin. The first base umpire, Brian Onora, took a long time. And Coco is standing back of the bag at first, hands on his hips. And Melvin is incredulous. It was a chopper back of the bag. It was a slow developing chopper back at third. And Morel, thinking he didn't have a chance for the force at third on Sizemore, a long throw across the diamond. And Melvin is nose to nose with Brian Onora. And Coco Crisp certainly felt he beat the play at first base. Out by an eyelash apparently, and that's how the White Sox hold off the A's and win it today on this Sunday in Chicago. Did you see the replay, Vinny?
They're showing it right now. It's the first time they're showing it. And it is extremely close. And all you can say is extremely close, slowed down, almost put at stop motion as the foot, the glove, the ball all come together at the same time.
Well, that's the way it ends. And kind of a fitting way, the total frustration for the A's on a road trip that ends for the A's with a record of 1-9. And the Chicago White Sox have beaten the A's by the final of 5-4. Again, watching the replay, it was pretty conclusive that Onora got it wrong, that Coco had beaten the play. It was so close. Can you say it was a bad call? Hard to say it was a bad call, but he missed it. And if he hadn't missed it, the A's would have had the bases loaded and 2 out, down by a run, the tying run 90 feet away with Pennington coming up. So the A's lose it by the count of 5-4. Oh, I can hear the calls for replay getting louder now, especially from the green and gold camp. And Vince Cotroneo has the complete Sunday scoreboard when the A's postgame continues.